Welcome, class. Today in JSS 2 Social Studies we are studying human rights and child rights, two of the most important concepts in modern society. Understanding your rights is empowering, and understanding your responsibilities in relation to others' rights is the foundation of a just society. Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms that every person is entitled to, simply by virtue of being human. They are universal. They apply to every person regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, nationality, religion, age, disability, or social status. They are inalienable, they cannot be taken away, though they may sometimes be limited for the protection of others. And they are indivisible. Civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights are all equally important. The foundation of modern international human rights is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the United Nations in 1948 following the atrocities of the Second World War. Nigeria, as a member of the United Nations, is bound by international human rights standards. Key human rights include civil and political rights, the right to life, freedom from torture and inhuman treatment, freedom from arbitrary arrest and detention, the right to a fair trial, freedom of expression and opinion, freedom of religion and belief, the right to vote and participate in government, freedom of peaceful assembly and association, and the right to privacy. Economic, social and cultural rights, the right to work and fair pay, the right to education, the right to health, the right to an adequate standard of living including food, water, and housing, the right to social security, and the right to participate in cultural life. In Nigeria, human rights are protected by Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. These fundamental rights include the right to life, the right to dignity of the human person, the right to personal liberty, the right to fair hearing, the right to private and family life, the right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, the right to freedom of expression, the right to peaceful assembly and association, the right to freedom of movement, the right to freedom from discrimination, and the right to acquire and own property. Nigeria also has specific institutions to protect human rights, including the National Human Rights Commission, established in 1995, and the courts which citizens can approach if their rights are violated. Now let us focus on child rights. Child rights are the specific rights of children, individuals under 18 years of age. Children have the same fundamental human rights as adults, but because they are in a vulnerable stage of development and cannot fully protect or advocate for themselves, they have additional specific rights and protections. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, adopted in 1989, is the most widely ratified international human rights treaty. Nigeria ratified it in 1991. The four core principles of the convention are: the best interest of the child must be the primary consideration in all actions affecting children, non-discrimination, all children enjoy their rights regardless of race, gender, disability, or family status, the right to life, survival, and development, and the right of children to express their views and have those views respected. In Nigeria, the Child Rights Act was enacted in 2003 to give effect to the convention at the national level. The act has been adopted by most Nigerian states, though implementation remains uneven. Key child rights under Nigerian law include the right to survival. Every child has the right to life and to the best possible health. Preventable child deaths from malnutrition, malaria, and lack of health care are violations of this right. The right to education. Every child has the right to free and compulsory basic education. Children must not be kept out of school for any reason, including gender, disability, or poverty. The right to protection. Children must be protected from all forms of abuse, neglect, exploitation, and violence. Child labor, child marriage, trafficking, sexual abuse, and physical punishment are all violations of child rights. The Child Rights Act sets 18 as the minimum age for marriage in states that have adopted it. The right to participation. Children have the right to express their opinions on matters that affect them. This includes the right to be heard in court proceedings, in family decisions, and in school governance. The right to identity. Every child has the right to a name, a nationality, and registration at birth. Birth registration ensures that children can access education, healthcare, and other services throughout their lives. Many Nigerian children are not registered at birth, which creates serious challenges for their future. Violations of child rights in Nigeria include child labor, children working in dangerous conditions instead of going to school, child marriage, girls as young as 12 being married off in some communities, trafficking of children for domestic service, sexual exploitation or begging, recruitment of children by armed groups, corporal punishment in schools, and inadequate birth registration. Organizations working on child rights in Nigeria include UNICEF, Save the Children, Plan International, and government agencies like the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons known as NAPTIP. As young Nigerians, knowing your rights empowers you to recognize when your rights or the rights of others are being violated, and to seek appropriate help from trusted adults, teachers, or authorities. Rights come with responsibilities. Respecting the rights of your classmates, younger children, and community members is part of being a responsible citizen.